Hi, if you're pitching a memoir to get a traditional publishing deal, you want to use the right terms to show that you know the genre and the business of book publishing. And there's certain terms that will repel an agent or potential publisher in a memoir book pitch. So many writers get this stuff wrong with memoir because, in my opinion, it's the most widely misunderstood genre of book, and one that's not taught like novel writing or selling general nonfiction in the industry. So back to your pitch. To pitch a memoir and get a book deal, you need to achieve one thing only. You need to convey what the story is about as quickly as possible. This is your job in a pitch. And I know it's hard because pitching a memoir is unlike pitching any other kind of book. It's a personal story, it's your own experience, and this makes you more vulnerable when you pitch a memoir than if you're pitching, say, a sci-fi novel or a fictional romance that you wrote, for example. But it's this very fact that we're pitching our own stories that makes us get this part of the pitch wrong. And don't worry, I speak from experience. It's really... So you know that I have had this experience. I'll tell you, I've written and sold 2 memoirs, and my first memoir, Love Another U-Turn, sold after I sent a query to a publisher who then immediately asked for the full manuscript. My second memoir, A Letter from Paris, sold on pitch alone. It was a synopsis and a short book proposal. A pitch is included in any number of these sales documents that sell your memoir. So if I hadn't mastered this part of the pitch, neither of these books would have been published. And it was actually from years of getting freelance articles published that I mastered the art of the pitch. So the goal of any pitch is to quickly convey the story of what you're pitching. What makes it compelling? What's it about? What is this story? If it's a memoir, you're pitching the story you have created from a personal experience. And this is what so many memoir writers get wrong in a pitch. It's not what your life has been about up until this point. Your pitch is not how much you've written or how much you love writing or why someone said you should pitch this book or why you should write it. And your pitch is not your life story or why people need to hear your version of events. And it is definitely not why you've suffered in your life, okay? Please don't send anyone, a potential agent, editor, publisher, or me, a list of awful things that have happened in your life with a plea to make it a book. Have some compassion for the person on the other end of the pitch, okay? Agents have some crazy stories about memoir pitches and ones that should have come with a trigger warning. Okay, so if you've downloaded 4 steps to writing a best-selling pitch, you'll know to avoid using certain terms in your memoir pitch because they repel publishers and agents and people in the industry. I'm going to mention one in particular. Do not use the term autobiography in a memoir pitch. If you're pitching a memoir and you're not a celebrity or well-known figure, using the term autobiography will blow your pitch. The reason using the term autobiography, which I'll keep repeating so that you remember, in your memoir pitch repels a potential publisher is 2 things. First, it implies that you have not done the work to find the story in your book, which is the purpose of a pitch. And 2, it's frankly terrifying. Using the term autobiography in your memoir pitch will make a publisher think that you're about to send them a 500-page life story they will need to wade through, and they don't want to do that. They need to see what the story is. What is the story? If you're having trouble locating the compelling story in your memoir, make sure you've downloaded my free guide, 4 Steps to a Best-Selling Memoir Pitch. I'll link to it below, and you can learn common mistakes, the other words not to use, and how a memoir pitch needs to land to be compelling enough to get a book deal. Because while memoir comes from your life, it is not your life story unless you're famous like Prince Harry.